Good.
What's up, Vanguardians? This is Jonathan S.P. Mindham.
Hi, I'm Sean for Team Honey Badger, and we're going to interview the Jonathan S.P. Mindham.
I don't know if it's the, but
For those of y'all who don't know, he's the Butler, and he actually featured me on his weekly show for Vanguard, Monday Night Wars. And if you haven't seen it yet, I recommend it.
definitely worth checking out. We're one of the probably the only weekly, I guess I don't even know what to call it. Weekly
Vanguard talk show.
Yeah. So it's kind of like its own.
Always bet on me, guys. I got you. So, I'm going to be asking him a series of interview questions, but first let's start with some basic questions. Like, tell everyone who you are.
My name is Jonathan Mindham. Everyone generally knows me from the Vanguardians Facebook group. I'm there. I'm one of the admins. I've been there for about a year or so. Locally, I do a lot in the state of Illinois. I'm involved with a lot of different groups online and things like that, and different organizations. And I actually worked with VanguardHeroes several times. I've judged for them at national events, regional events. I've judged for ARG, Alter Reality Games. I've done a little bit of everything. So I'm here and there. I wrote for Pojo. So
Pojo. Awesome site. All right. So, are you ready to start the interview?
Yes, sir. Shoot away.
All right. And I sent you these questions before, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, how long have you been playing this game?
I have been playing now for the last couple of years. Technically, I've been playing since the release of Set 2 in English, which was 2000. I think it was 2012, 2013, somewhere in there. I think it came out in December of 2012, and we got in 2013. I could be mistaken on that. I was playing the game I just remember everyone getting Set 1, and everyone had Barkle and Blaster Blade, and the trial decks were out with Kagero, and I picked up everything right after Set 1 came out, but formally really got into it in Set 2 when that came out.
Yeah.
So right from the beginning. And I had Japanese cards too. I had Set 1 Japanese stuff because it was some of the Vanguard stuff was so hard to come by, and it was actually easier to get it in Japanese cards than it was English.
Yeah. When Vanguard first came out, we actually had it at our local Walmart down here, so that's how I got into it.
Oh, well, see, and I remember that too. I remember right when Set 6 came out, which was our Set 3, but the local Targets and things carried it. I don't know why.
Well, that's how I got into it.
Yeah, and I think that's really cool because that you don't see it right now like that anymore.
Yeah, I got the Narukami trial deck, that Thunderbreak Dragon.
Oh yeah, okay, and that was at Walmart.
Yep.
Yep.
$9.99 with my discount.
That's a hell of a deal.
Yeah.
Considering now they've raised them to
All right, so question number 2. What do you see in this community that is unique compared to other games?
I've been asked this question a couple of times, and one of the things I like about it the most is there's a sense of pride behind your clan or your deck that's a little bit different than most. There are people who are dedicated sometimes to certain things in, say, Yu-Gi-Oh! Or Magic, maybe certain colors and mana in Magic, and Yu-Gi-Oh! Maybe certain archetypes or attributes. But this game really presents this uniqueness where, okay, if you love Granblue, you can keep playing Granblue to a degree and constantly have fun with it, and you can remain loyal to it. So, Clan is definitely a uniqueness that other games don't have, and they don't really push that. They kind of keep it very vanilla. If you want to splash this in, if you want to splash that in, you can do it. Whereas Vanguard's purely and simply clan. You are playing your clan or a clan, and that is what's unique about it.
Yeah, I really like that too.
It's just even in the show, when you watch Aichi, he's a generally royal gold, shadow if you want to be, he's very stuck to those, and it's just one of those things where it's that's his connection to the game as well. So the same thing with us as individuals who actually play it, that is our reason for playing it. So I think that's a huge difference compared to other games.
Yeah, that's a That's very, actually, you put it best.
Yeah. It's just I think the game itself is beautifully built around that concept.
Yeah, where anybody could just pick up whatever deck they want, stick to it, and know that they're going to get something generic that they can splash in.
Yeah.
Especially Grand Blue.
Yeah, Grand Blue. For what they've had, I mean, like, it's been pretty consistent across the board. So, I mean, go Cocytus, but yeah.
Yeah, they're not even subclans yet in Grand Blue.
No, there hasn't been. Just like Great Nature, it's very much like a just vanilla-esque feel to it.
Yeah. All right. So, question number 3: what deck do you main, and what drew you to that deck?
My main deck and what I'm known for playing is Neonectar, and I when I first started the game, I played OTT, and then I went to Angel Feather, and then I was like playing Angel Feather, and I really liked Angel Feather, and then Set 3 came out, and Pale Moon was there, and I liked all these clans, and I liked what they did, but there's just nothing like really felt right, and then like I think they announced like Set 5, and it came out like in I can't remember what it was, the spring, and I got the stuff, and I bought a case of Set 5, actually for PBO and DOT and MLB. And then I looked at all these Neonectar stuff, and I'm like, oh, like this stuff is kind of cool. They kind of did this really unique thing with it, and I looked at it, and I was a Yu-Gi-Oh player. I played Chaos Plants, and I was a Magic player when I was playing Mana, like green white. So I did a lot of tokens and populating and swarming basically. And
those elves.
What's that?
Those elves.
The elves, yeah. The worms was the big ones that I loved, and trample and 5/5 and all that. And so when I looked at Neonectar, it kind of had, because paladins at that time did swarm, but it wasn't like what Neonectar could do. Neonectar was very quick in the early game, and it was very effective and hit huge numbers. And Set 5 was the main set. And I think like a month or two later, Set 8 came out, and they released Arboros, who I deem my avatar in the game. And I immediately connected. I love the swarming capability with the ride chain. You can just keep calling a unit and keep populating and give power. And I'm always about my friends. I'm always about like this, like, okay, if we're going to do things, we're going to do it as a team, and we're going to do it together. And Arboros kind of always reminded me of that idea of embodiment, because it's like you give everyone else power, to help your friends and the kind of thing. And, it sounds cheesy, but that's how I made the connection. And I've always kept Neonectar around, even when they haven't had support. I've always had a Neonectar deck ready. But that was my connection, so.
Your Musketeer deck very well. I actually tested a few games with it. It actually works really well.
The Musketeers, like, and it's really funny, Sean. When I started playing the game and Set 8 came out, I hated Musketeers. Like, I was one of the stark opponents, because I'm like, Cecilia should have been 11k. If a Cecilia was 11k, this deck would be fine. And she was just that 10k, and everything else around it was so powerful. And it's just, there's Cecilia, and she just really doesn't have that base to make her super powerful. She couldn't hit the numbers at that time. And then when the new stuff came out, I fell in love with Vera, and like Vera and her ability to, sack a unit on the field, look for copies. Not only that, but again, kept that Arboros-esque feeling where she gave all the other Musketeers power, and I just loved it. And everyone always said Musketeers was like bad. Like, they were like, oh, it's not going to do anything. And I'm like, no, I'm gonna prove you wrong. And I kept playing with the build, and I think a lot of my teammates said I was like obsessed, and I just kept perfecting it. I finally got to where it just now is like play after combo, it just goes off so well. And like I've had a lot of people like, you don't play Neonectar, you don't play Musketeer normal, you play it very differently, and that I like that. I like that people say that, but at the same point, I feel like I'm playing it the way it should be played.
Yeah. Everyone has like, yeah. That was very good, actually. I remember like you posted a video on your other channel, Card Capital, where you pulled like 3 Veras at the sneak.
Yeah. We the Set 17 sneak peek. They were, I can't remember, but I pulled one, and another person had another, and I picked up another from somebody else, and it was the same day. It was really cool. So I was able to get majority. I always collect 5 of every SP if I run the deck, and I had it like done like in that weekend, which was good and bad to a degree. Like I wish like the hunt could have continued to look for them, but like even now they're actually very hard to come by, the Vera SPs, because they were the English exclusive. But really was very happy with the overall just the uniqueness of that card. So
I remember when Blouse came out, I was just like, oh man, well, how am I gonna get these Mon Blau Cougars, man?
yeah, I mean, and that deck is ridiculously expensive. I mean, like when it came out, it was so good. It's still good, like with the new generation break stuff, and like I haven't got to see you play it, and I know a couple other people who've played it. Even Robbie Cole played the deck. It was really effective and very good early game and very scary. Like I love decks that can make your opponent sweat a little bit,
Yeah. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, so a lot of people don't know this, but my uncle actually plays Vanguard. Well, he played Asura at his time. I don't know if he plays. So we got EVO8 together, and we got a total of like 8 boxes. 6 of them I did a recap for, and the other 2 he had. But
sure, and like so, like it's for you guys, like your connection is there. I'm assuming to play Nova Grappler and everything. So
we're direct opposites. I'm telling you. He plays Blau. I play Blau. He plays Asura. He likes the White Sox, which is rival to my favorite Astros. It's and as my gift, he took me to a White Sox game. I mean, who does that?
That's kind of cruel and unusual punishment.
Yeah. All right. So question number 4. What defines meta for you?
Vanguard and the word meta is a really weird combination because I've always held this mentality where any deck can win, and I guess what breaks down is any deck can sack. Any deck can be really, like if you're striding these days and you triple drive check 3 crits, you're going to be in a much better position of drive checking nothing. So when we say meta, you got to look at it from the perspective of, okay, what decks are everyone playing? And then you got to look at why everyone's playing it. And right now, for example, as of this date, which is July 16th, everyone is playing Shadow Paladins for the most part. And the reason is because of the Legendary booster and because of what it does. Now, in a month or two, will that be the case? Who knows? But that is what I deem meta. And a deck like Shadows and what else just came out? Link Joker. Those things are meta because they would be played a lot more and they have great effects that overall do better than certain other decks. For example, like even like Maidens and Neonectar right now, they're not meta. They're far from meta, and there's a lot of reasons why, because they just need too many things to make them as good as, say, Shadow Paladins.
If they got a Swordbreaker clone, they'd be the best deck.
I think so too, because there's just so much ability to swarm the field very easily, and then if you could draw from that, it's even better. And that's why I like Musketeers to a degree, because it's like, yes, you're calling a unit and you're getting an effect, but at the same point you're deck thinning a lot, you're thinning out your drive checks basically, and you're getting other cards that do other effects very quickly and easily. So I compare that always to like a Swordbreaker-esque thing. Granted, you aren't physically getting the card to your hand, but you are doing exactly what that idea is. So like when meta is out there, like when we talk about like say brawlers and Narukami, I deem that anti-meta because it has the ability to hit a 13k base, which right now is no true deck does that right now other than them. Maybe PBO, Phantom Blaster, Overlord.
I have an SP.
Yeah, it's good. Sell it, and you'll make money. But the thing is, like that deck itself, anything that can hit a 13k base right now is like anti-meta, because most decks are set up to hit always a 16k base. So anything that can basically guard for 5k every turn on a rear guard is super good. It's like they're the anti-meta, and I really contribute brawlers, maybe Pale Moon because the Liqueur Stride and stuff, and that PBO Shadow Paladin to be a big anti-meta base decks. But Are they the true meta? No. I think Brawlers is up there because you see them top every once in a while right now. But meta is really defined by what everyone is playing and what is doing well, and why is it doing that well? Because of their effects.
Yeah. I definitely agree with your thoughts on Brawlers, but I think what really happened is that GBTO3 actually was too many hyped clans in one set, like to make it so one of them was gonna get shafted.
You know, like I feel like clans like Murakumo and Dark Irregulars, they have really awesome strides, but their overall support is still kind of meh. Like Dark Irregulars got a lot of Amon units,
Oh,
and
it's so
really
good.
cool. And like anyone who plays Amon, but they didn't do enough for the clan overall to make it a very much like here is our opposite of that. Like you have a lot of things that do great effects and stuff, but Amon just got a lot of triggers that do, or one trigger that did a lot, like a retiring effect. They got another unit. They got the limit break enabler. Like there's a lot there that makes Amon really good. But again, if you don't like Amon, you're kind of stuck again with like this nothing atmosphere. Like there are things that make Dark Irregulars good. It's just not as powerful as Amon.
Yeah, I see what you mean. All right, so we're gonna go to question number 6. Any card fighters you don't know but talk to, like on your different social medias that have potential, not counting me or anyone in your area?
You know, there are a lot of players that I feel that have a lot of great potential. Like the game right now, like I don't know how long technically you have been playing. Like if you've been playing since EVO8, that was last year summertime.
BTO6, younger than Naruto.
Okay, so yeah, if you're right around there, I mean, like for the most part, like the game itself, there's an older player base that, like I always refer to as like the originals. Like we've been here for since that one and on, and then there's like the newer group of people who are just coming into this game, maybe GBO1, and they're trying to figure it out or they don't understand things, and they're getting into the game and it's really exciting, but sometimes they don't understand these things, so it's like you want to try to help them and teach them and get them to be a little bit better at understanding it. But like since I've been doing Vanguardians and got to meet a lot of people, I want to play everyone. Like there's so many people I want to play. When I went to Atlanta for Team League this past May, like I got to go down there and meet tons of people, got to play all kinds of people that people are like, oh, I'm so and so Michael or so and so this, and it's like you gotta be a little more specific, and like, and I'm getting to meet these people, and I'm like, oh, okay, we've actually talked or we've actually played online, and I've got to meet a lot of great people because of that now. But I mean, there's no one individual that I would say I really wanted to play more than the other. Like if I have a chance to sit down and get to meet you, I would love to play you. And like even at my locals, like I've played everyone, and I'll even the younger players be like, hey, let's play a match. Let me see what we can teach you, or what you can do about your deck, or how to try to improve it. So it's one of those things where it's like as many people as you can come across, play as many as possible, because that's how you as an individual too will get better at the game. Yeah. So it's just like everyone plays differently. I mean, yes, decks are built similarly, but you see people guard differently, you see people take damage at different times, and it's kind of fun to kind of see why they do it, or even learning from their strategies. That makes you a better player in the long run.
Yeah, at our locals in my area, our store owner is very good with making sure the younger players get the same experience as the older players.
Yeah.
Because he's like, if they're just relying on an allowance, he'll maybe cut their locals entry fee by like $1.
Sure.
And he'll try to get the older players to talk to them. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, the involvement is huge. I mean, like, I think when people play the game and people always say, like, how do you grow your community? It's like you just got to get people involved. You got to make them feel welcomed. You have to make them really feel like, okay, this is what's exciting about the game. This is why. If they don't know what's coming out, like, say maybe they're playing a clan, like, let's say for Pale Moon. Right now, if you, like, oh, I just got this card and I'm really excited, I want to play it. Well, hey, guess what? In a few months or maybe even next year, some early time, we'll be getting Pale Moon support. Like, there will be more chance to actually improve that clan for you very cheaply and easily as well. So I think a lot of times people get down, or like they're like, oh, I can't afford that. Well, now here's your chance. And I think helping people understand that is huge.
Yeah, Bushiroad's very good with that. Like for the long time people who stuck to their decks, they'll maybe offer something very, very good.
Yeah. I mean, there again, like if you look at just for example, Pale Moon and Lukier, like if you bought that set 7 when it first came out and you stuck onto it, you made your money. Like it was deemed terrible when it came out, and now it's one of the most sought after and hard to find cards ever. So like it's just one of those things. If you love that clan and you love that card and you kept it, it did really well for you.
Yeah, that's a very, very good way to put it, especially with Dion Gilderize.
Yep. Yeah.
And question 7, who would you like to card fight from the anime and why?
I'm torn between this because I always think I want to play Tokura, and I'm like, no, you know, I love and respect her as far as a character goes, but the person I want to play and the person I feel like is actually one of the best players in the whole anime, and they never give her enough time, is Asuka. Like, I think she's just outstanding. Again, not even just going the Pale Moon thing, just the way she plays and how she holds herself, like, and it's just she's a very like skilled player. And I don't think we get to ever see enough of that. Like, you know, and that's the person I would love to see, you know, and actually play in real life.
Yeah, I would play Asuka and Kenji Mitsusada. Both of them seem like very good players.
Yeah.
Just get plot armored.
Yeah, I think like Tetsu and things like that too are really cool, but it's like I just really like the idea of like Asuka and all these multiple attacks, like she's the assassin. So you know that's my what I would like to see kind of thing.
I want to fight Ninja Master Neo because Ninja Master Neo hasn't lost yet.
This is true too.
Yeah, the dream. All right. So, last 3 questions.
Mm-hmm.
I added one, but this one's just a direct vice versa to the other one.
Sure.
So, what decks do you like facing?
Like playing against, you mean? Like
yeah, like not just like clan matchup wise, but what decks do you personally like facing? Because I know when I pull out my Sanctuary card, I just love facing Overlord their X when I just play the Soaring Calls.
You know, that's a really good question. Like I do, as much as they're very annoying, I do enjoy a good Aqua Force battle. And you got to throw in Dimensional Police with William Cole. Like that's an absolute must. Like just he is the embodiment of justice, and like actually playing against someone who loves that clan, like to its core, to one of its first units, it's worth playing and like worth playing against that person. But makes the clan a very exciting clan. I'm trying to think of another clan that I just love. Like Aquaforce and them are very fun because you never know what to expect. You know what? I like Tachikaze. I think out of all the clans that I ever got to play against, it would have to be Tachikaze. Because you just never know what that deck can do.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's just one of those, you sit back and you kind of just watch it going, oh my god, like he's getting another attack in, he's getting more power, he's getting another crit. You know, that kind of mentality. I think it's just a really fun clan to, like, just, if you're going to lose, you got to give them a standing ovation for, you know, getting your butt kicked by them.
Yeah. For any of y'all who don't know, the Rare Legion from Set 17 version E is very underrated.
That's the one where it's not the one with the crit, it's the other one, like the
when something is killed, revive it for like counterblast.
Yeah, that's very good.
Yeah.
I think the whole clan itself has been highly underrated. Like, again, they can go off like turn 2 and do crazy, ridiculous things, like insanely good things.
Yeah. All right. So what decks do you hate facing? Because I know when I pull out my blouse and I see someone stand up Andre, I'm like, all right, I regret playing Lady Cyclones.
As a Neonectar user, I've always hated playing Kagero and Link Joker. They're two of the biggest downfalls to the clan. I actually love Link Joker for a lot of reasons. I think it's fun, different. And then Kagero, I've never been a fan of. Like I built when you first could build Kagero, you had Overlord and Elf and maybe Blazing Flare. It was kind of rather simple.
Invincible.
What's that?
Mr. Invincible.
Well, yeah, but I'm talking like Kagero when they first came out. Like they were kind of balanced. They were okay, and then like suddenly all they just got ridiculously stupid. Like it's a clan that's over supported, it's over powerful, and not a lot can keep up with it half the time because again, so many things require having rear guards that are unique and like if you're playing DP and your laurels are gone because all your opponent does is just sit there and retire them, you kind of lose some of your win condition. So it's not always fair. So I definitely think Kagero is a great clan. I think they have a lot of great cards, but I think they just kind of need to tone it down so where it's balanced again. Like where, the clan could actually be, anyone can play it. It's not super expensive. At the same point, restanding shouldn't be its only mechanic. So Kagero would take the cake on that question.
Yeah, just add Dauntless Drive back in the day.
Yeah, I think Dauntless Drive was really balanced because you had to counterblast, I think, or
no, it's just discard 3. Yeah, so it's a net -1, but.
Yeah, but again, you get the restand, and back then, if you're playing Dota or whatever, like with that, it was well worth playing it. Like you got a lot of advantage doing it. So.
Yeah. Jonathan Gall, your teammate. Sleepy guy who's actually my Vanguard sensei. He just sent me a message. Mindham like playing against Aquaforce, DP, and Tashi's. That's my 3 clans.
Now, me and Mr. Gall, I don't know if you know this. Him and I have had some great matches. And I enjoy playing against him a lot. Like he always pushes me to my edge.
Yeah, same.
And that's why he's a member of our team is because of just his ability to take like one of those, I shouldn't say complicated decks, but maybe not so played because of what you can do with it, and really just go, God damn it. You just, you just don't want to play against him. So
yeah, he can really just pick up any deck because of any deck. And
one of my online tournaments that we did, he was playing Dimensional Police.
Sin Kaiser.
Yeah, Sin Kaiser, and I was playing my Neos, and it was just like one of those games where it was like I will always forever remember that match. I think he's like, oh, I got my ass whooped or whatever, but in the long run, we took unprecedented decks at that time and got to where we did in that tournament, and we both deserved to be where we were at. But he's been a great opponent and great teammates.
Yeah, especially since now he has Grand Chopper to abuse.
Oh.
I hate that card.
I don't ever feel like I have a problem against DP until Grand Chopper comes out.
Yeah.
Even Laurel.
I don't care about Laurel. If I'm at early advantage, I could just let him hit. Get free cards. I mean, because with the decks I play, Blau and Sanctuary Guard, I should be able to, with the pressure that I throw down, I should be able to get rid of that hand fast and easy.
Yeah. I generally know what I'm looking for, like, when someone plays that deck. If they throw their whole hand down, like, you got to come back at them even faster and stronger sometimes, and you got to hope that they just don't get lucky. Like, and then you usually are pretty more set to play against it.
Yeah. All right. So last question of the night. You ready?
Yes.
Is your body ready?
I'm ready.
All right. So what would you like to see from me, YouTube, Wikia, anything, and the likes?
Someone like you, Sean, you're starting out so nicely with like in the community. You're young, you're 14 years old, and you're taking the game now. I would have said to like a serious level, which is good. Like the thing with Vanguard for a long time was people I don't ever think took it serious. Like they were just trying to keep it so like casual. You're trying to make it fun, serious, and you set goals. Like you tell me daily sometimes that you want to do this, you want to do that, and that's the mentality that you need to have. The things that I've done in this community, the things that I've achieved, is not by me just going, oh, I wish I did that. Like I went out and did it, and no one ever told me no, and if they told me no, I just kept doing it. Like that's the goal and mentality you have to have. So if you want to have a thriving YouTube channel, keep doing things like this. Throw your matches up. Do deck profiles of things that you enjoy. If a new Nova Grappler card comes out, talk about it, discuss it, get the people involved. Like that is how you get known in this community, and that's how you thrive. Like as far as like things coming up, play online tournaments. Get involved in the respect you want to go to your locals. You should try to go there at least 2 times a month.
That's what I'm hoping for, actually.
Yeah, I mean that's the goal. Like, you don't have to go every week. Like, sometimes every week gets a little stale. Like I've been going to my locals now for like the last month on and off, and like luckily the meta changed and all of it, so I've been playing a couple of different things. But it's like, for me, like, I'm gonna burn out here, until the next thing comes out, and keeping involvement is always a huge thing. Like, that is always a plus. So doing the Wikia, getting talking to people on there. My biggest thing is go and find the next person. Interview the next person, or go and fight the next person and broadcast it. Like, say, hey, I'm streaming and I'm doing this, or hey, I'm playing this person. Like, don't make it like ridiculous and cheesy. Just make it very serious and like, hey, I want to get better. I challenge you to a match. And
what if I call you out right now?
If you call me out right now, I'm not going to do it, and that's because I'm scared of your Blau deck. No. Like, one of those things is like, we've played, like, I remember you playing my brawlers, you whooped my butt. I remember you playing my
Blau.
Yeah, and like, the passion's there. Find your clan, and don't just always be to that clan. Like, that is, I think I told you earlier yesterday or something like that. I play Neonectar, but that's not the only deck I play. Like, I have like an arsenal of 4 or 5 decks that I can always go to at any time, and there's cards that I like, but again, they might not be my main clan, but I do like them. Like, I love Link Joker, I love Pale Moon, I love Narukami. Like, Narukami for me for a long time was great, but I hated Eradicator. I didn't like Eradicators. Like, Gauntlet Buster and Descendant was awesome, but some of the stuff that came out with later was so toned down, it was just, not there. So you have your decks, you have Blau, you have Sanctuary. Like, now try to find the third deck. Try to build your repertoire and try to, like, build, like, the next thing you would like to fall in love with, and really take that deck and excel with it too. Like, you're good with Blau, you're good with Sanctuary Guard. Now find the next one. Like, that's the thing. Like, what is going to be the future for you? And, again, set that goal, accomplish it, and then set another one, an accomplishment, and keep going with it.
Yeah, the biggest thing I had when I quit Pokemon, I quit after I got 5th place at City Championships. But the biggest thing I had was what I didn't do.
Sure. Yeah. I agree with that mentality too. Like, I'm one of those people who's like, I hate failing. I hate failure. I hate, like, feeling like I failed. My mentality is you keep going until you've done it correctly. Or, like, a lot of people like with like the online tournaments and stuff. I was so dedicated to win one, like one of those online tournaments. It drove me insane. Like, and I was lucky I did it very early, but I was like, God, I got to do this. I got to do this, and I got to do it with Musketeers. Like, I have to prove this point. And, like, it was one of those things where, too, I think that dedication and that determination also helped me get to where I am now. Like, people now know me for playing that clan. People now know me for that deck. And, like, when people walk up to me when I went to my locals and they were like, oh, well, let's see your deck build. And then they would try to play it and they couldn't get it to work. And I'm like, it's part dedication. It's not just going to automatically win for you. So, again, that's the same thing mentality you have with your Blaus. It's like, yes, everyone probably has the same build, but it's how you play it and how you do with it personally and how you feel about it.
Yeah. That's one of the reasons why I decided to take out Blau Perfect Guards. I wanted to find something that I know could work and that represents me as a player and as a person.
Well, I think the one thing you're missing out is Mount Blanc or Mount. What's the starter's name?
Blau Younger. Morganrot.
Morganrot. Thank you. Morganrot. Yeah, that's usually what people do is they set that up, but it's like, that. To me, that's not. I actually like Morganrot for finding your grade 3s. Deck thinning. In that
deck thinning is deck winning.
There you go. Exactly. Like. I want that on a T-shirt somewhere one day because I'm like I full-heartedly think that's why so many decks do so well, like Shadow Paladins and all that. They've just thinned their deck so much, they win. But like when you can do that with Morganrot and you remove those grade 3s, it opens up a whole line of things that for that deck. So yeah, maybe you're not getting the Blau Perfect Guards and they're not helping you deck thin. But again, I think with the Stride era. That's the mentality, the counterblast that you need to unflip and get. Like, I think there's a balance that you've created with the build of using the other perfect guards over the Blau ones. So, My only thing is you can't SP those non-Blau perfect cards.
You're the SP god, my man.
Oh, when Blaus came out, man, when they were talking about them, they were the very first one with Blau perfect cards. I'm like, you know what? I want to build it just so I can have that deck SP. Like, you could have SP'd so much.
Yeah, I was like, Dad, do you think we'll have enough to SP this deck?
The perfect cards, Mom, Galaxy. You could have done the Blau Cougar Grade 2. Mars. What?
I know. I was just about like, okay, when I grow up, even if I'm not playing Vanguard, I'm gonna find a way to SP this deck out.
Yeah. It's like the passion for it is there. Like, every deck I play right now is SP, and like, and it has nothing to do with like being a rarity horror, because our game doesn't have that really. Like, to me, it's this persona that I've created with this whole SP thing, and now what my friends have called the Vanguard Bible, and all these things. It's like it's just one of those things where it's like it's almost kind of keep up that persona. But some decks are beautiful SP. Like, if you look at it from an artwork standpoint, some decks just look so much better SP.
Aquaforce looks beautiful in SP.
Yeah. For the longest time, I always said Link Joker Glendios with all the reverse units. Just as a stellar deck. This looks really cool.
Jewel Knight's SP actually looked really nice.
Yeah, actually Reverse, when she came out, and actually regular Break Ride SP was awesome. And they had the Miranda, I think it is too, the Grade 2. So
yeah, I wanted to make that deck. Too expensive.
Yeah, well now you can do Jewel Knights I guess not much cheaper, but less shiny.
I'm getting 3 Sword Mace. I'm set.
Yeah, and then go.
Yeah. So anyway, guys, that was this interview with Jonathan Mindham. Any last words you want to say to the viewers, to me, too?
No, if people are watching and like, I really think like who I am and the things that I've tried to do for the community, the mentality I've had is always try to do something better. Like, like, don't ever just sit there and like, oh, I'm gonna do it like this way. Like, always think about what could be better for everything. Like, like for yourself, for the game, for the community. Like, you're just one person in a small pond or a big pond, but in the long run, and the more you can do to help spread the name of our game, to do better for the game, it helps tenfold. Like, I can't even tell you how many times just by changing something you've done or going to your locals, trying to make it better, it changes our game drastically. So I think that's, Van Gooding, as we've coined Van Good, is a huge thing.
Yeah, that's gonna be the thumbnail. Hashtag Van Good.
Hashtag Van Good, and deck thinning is deck winning.
Deck thinning is deck winning. Tommy Thun. Yeah, so guys. Tommy Thun.
No, he stole that from me.
Oh, really? He stole it from you?
Yeah, he stole it from me. Watch one of my videos and he stole it.
Anyway, guys, remember to eat pizza, eat M&Ms, go to Vanguardians, go to your locals, even if it's just once. Just go check it out. Get in touch with the community and stuff like that.
And Van Good.
Yeah, and Van Good and Stride On.
Yep.